Hey there, Mike Robbins here with another video blog message. This week I want to talk a little bit about the power of letting go. You may notice that the bookshelf behind me is empty. There's no books in there. Inspired by my wife, who recently read the best-selling book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, this past weekend I went through all of my clothes and all of my books and let go of a lot. And the basic premise of the book, from what I understand, is that you go through all of these things, and as you take each article of clothing or each book or each item or whatever it is in your house or in your space, and you ask yourself the question, does this bring me joy? And if the answer is yes, then you keep it. You put it back and organize it or tidy it up, so to speak. And if the answer is no, then you let it go. Gratefully, you honor it. Thank the book, or thank the piece of clothing, or thank the whatever it is, and it was really interesting for me to do this past weekend, because it was actually exciting and liberating, but quite challenging. I realized how attached I was to some of these pieces of clothing, even the ones I didn't like anymore, didn't wear, maybe never liked. You ever do that? Buy a piece of clothing. It's a nice piece of clothing. You just don't like it. It doesn't work for you for some reason. But it was sitting there in my closet. Because, that would be wasteful to get rid of it, or, I should like that, or, I used to really like wearing that, but I don't anymore, but it's hard to get rid of it because maybe it has some significance. And with books, oh my goodness. And I have a whole funny thing about books. I love books. You can imagine, given what I do, I get sent lots of books, I buy lots of books. I don't actually read that many books, quite frankly. I like to listen to audiobooks more than I actually like to read. So a lot of the books I had on my shelf were ones that I thought I should read, or they make me seem smart or evolved or whatever. But when I looked at them, I'm like, yeah, I'm never going to read that book. Or I don't even know where that book came from. Or I did read that book and it was wonderful, but I don't need to keep it anymore. I'm not going to read it again. I can pass it on. And one of the big things that came up for me over the weekend that I had to really confront and grapple with to some degree was how much of my scarcity mindset has me hang on to things much longer than I need them. I grew up without a lot of money. And we didn't have a lot of things, or the things that we got sometimes secondhand, or we got in certain ways, or if I got something, I really had to hang on to it or try to take care of it because I wasn't sure what I would get next or all of that. So that's still, even though that's not the case in my life nearly as much anymore, I still have those thoughts that run me. That feeling of, well, if I get rid of this, what if I need it someday? Or what if I can't afford to buy another one? But that has way more to do with my thoughts and my beliefs than any of the stuff in my house. So then I started to think more, wow, are there some beliefs or some thoughts or some conclusions, some stories that I've made up about myself or about life that I could let go of as well? And I have to say, the last few days have been really interesting. Again, it's just books, it's just clothes, it's not that big of a deal, but when I walk into my closet, or when I walk in here to my office with this empty bookshelf. Now look, I didn't get rid of all my books. There's still books over here. You can sort of see them out of the corner of the shot here. There's another bookshelf right there that you can't see where there's some books on. And then we've got bookshelves in the house. We still have a lot of books, but the open space is such an interesting metaphor because not only can I now fill that shelf with something else, maybe I'll get rid of it. Maybe I'll get a different piece of furniture. Maybe I'll reorganize my office. But that's metaphoric in a way to how I might be able to change some things in my life. So think about your own life. And not just your clothes or your books, although you could start there, and other things in your house or in your office. But where are there things in your mind? Beliefs that you have. Stories you've been telling yourself. Thoughts that dominate your thinking that really, they don't bring you joy. They're just kind of hanging out, taking up space. And what would it be like to let those go? Now, I realize, easier said than done. But if we start to let go of things that don't bring us joy and don't serve us anymore, what happens is a space gets created. And in that space, we can put something new there. We can put new ideas. We can put new beliefs. We can put new stories. Just over this last week, I've had a bunch of creative ideas that I'm not sure I would have had if I had some of this stuff still taking up space. And that's exciting. That I'm really fired up about. So if you cleared out some space, if you let go of some things, what might you be able to put in its place? Now look, I realize we're heading into the holidays, and what's interesting about the holidays, as fun as it is, lots of new stuff shows up, literally. But what if this holiday season we took it on, like, I'm going to focus on letting go, clearing out, creating space for what wants to emerge and wants to come next. Now that seems exciting to me. How about you? Thanks for watching and listening as always. I appreciate it, and I look forward to connecting with you next time.